Hi, this is Michael Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with the things that mentally strong people do. And this is part 3 that we're tackling now. And we have actually brought it about that when you are not mentally strong, you are detrimental or a danger to yourself. When you are not mentally strong, you will cry every day in this life. When you're not mentally strong, you will actually resort to self-inflicting pain because you cannot face challenges in life. And you're not mentally strong, therefore, you'll actually resort to wrong things because you cannot stand the challenges that life or the curveballs that life is throwing to you. This life will always throw curveballs to you as a young man. And I want you to be aware of that. Now, it is not going to be circumstances that will change. It is going to be you who needs to be mentally strong in this life. And that is why we want to emphasize this, that as a young man, you need to be mentally strong. But what do mentally strong people do? Today, I want to deal with mentally strong people. They stay happy and they don't waste energy on things that they cannot control. Now, this is very important because your happiness is your determination. In other words, you prescribe your own medicine of happiness. You prescribe your own happiness. You decide whether to be happy or not. As much as happiness is an emotion, but it comes from the decision of mind or the mindset that you have. But the mindset also comes or determines perceptions. Because how you perceive things is either you're going to depress yourself and make yourself unhappy, or you can decide to be happy in the midst of things that are challenging you. And this is what mentally strong people do. They are actually determining on their own happiness, or they actually make themselves happy or decide to become happy even when there are challenges around them. Now, mentally strong people are forever looking happy, and therefore, many people may actually misunderstand them. How are you happy while you've lost your loved ones? Why are you remaining happy while you've lost your job? How are you remaining happy while you are sick in your body? This is a decision. Now, a decision that comes out of how you think about your situation. Because it is up to you to think positively about situations and tell yourself you'll be able to be out of this in no time. Because when you think that this is the end of the world, what you're facing in your life, you're going to be miserable because you'll see no way out of it. But mentally strong people, they always see a way out of everything. And that is the reason why they remain happy at all times and they don't waste time on things that they cannot change. Now, I want to emphasize that there are things in life that you can change. And those things in life that can change, most of the time you need to work them out in advance. There are situations that you know the end results of them. So therefore, you need to work out your life now for the future good time that you're preparing yourself for. For an example, if you want to be an educated person, or you know that life is actually depending on educated people in life, so therefore, as a young man right now, you are able to determine your end results of life. You are able to determine your future by being able to commit to your studies right now while you're still able to do so. Age is still on your side as a young man. And please make sure that you determine now your future by making sure that you work out your education now while you're still having opportunity to do so. Now, if you are going to drop out now, you basically launch yourself into a doomed future that when you are in it already, it is going to be something that you cannot change. So in other words, determine things that will actually pave your future now. Determine things now that will shape your future to positivity now, so that you can be able to determine that in advance. But when you are in a situation that you cannot change, therefore, you might have launched yourself in the past by having messed up your past now, and that is now bringing the fruits of our negative fruits in your life, and now you cannot change it anymore. The fact that you cannot change it anymore It is going to make you miserable if you focus on that. And that is the reason why I want to say that mentally strong people will actually look back and say, I've messed up in the past. I am where I am now, but I'm not going to be able to change this situation. Because of that, I'm going to decide to be happy and continue being happy, even though I know that I am in this mess right now. But I'm taking responsibility. I'm taking accountability of what I've done in the past. And this is the situation that I cannot change. And I want to speak a little bit about these situations that you cannot change, like losing a loved one. And there are times when you've lost a loved one, but you cannot move on in your life. And you are sticking your mind on things that you cannot change. And you are dwelling there and you're not moving an inch out of that. You cannot bring your loved one to life again. And it is up to you now, as a mentally strong person, to come out of the misery of what you feel about the emotions that you felt when you lost a loved one and move on in this life and start to cope with the situation. It cannot change. And it is there, and it is there. So therefore, there's nothing that you can change. So therefore, it is very important that as a young man, you determine that this I cannot change. So therefore, I need to move on. And how do you move on in a situation like that? You have to change your mindset, because most of the things that we see as problems in life, you'll agree with me, it is purely because of our mindset. It's purely because of what we think of that. Our perception about situations is going to determine on whether we fear those situations or we boldly face those situations. But it needs a mentally strong person to say, I know this situation is the way it is, but I am not going to be able to change it, but I want to move on with my life. And I want to make sure that I become successful in my life and I can start from where I am. Because remember, there are those things that you've messed up in the past. You cannot change them now, but where you are, as long as you're still alive as a young man, I want you to understand that you still have the opportunity to do more. You're still having opportunity to become better. So therefore, it is up to you to stay where you are and die where you are, or to rise up with a strong mind and say, I'm going to become a better person. And therefore, from this day on, I'm making a decision to become a better person. But remember, that comes also with positive thinking. And as I've said, that generally, our negative minds, which is the mindsets that we're having, are the ones that are launching us into a misery. And therefore, we are not able to become happy because of our minds are telling us this is a miserable situation. And therefore, you're dwelling on that. You're wasting your time and energy on those things that you cannot control. They are beyond you. You cannot control. For an example, there are things that you cannot control. You cannot control whether people stay in your life or leave. When people decide to leave your life, you cannot control that. For an example, if your loved one has decided to divorce you, you are not in control of that. And you cannot change that. So you must not start blaming yourself and thinking that it is because of your doing. And sometimes it's not because of your doing. It's just a decision of somebody who has decided to move on with their lives. And you cannot control that. Now, for sitting and becoming miserable with somebody who has walked out of your life, it is going to delay your time, and it's going to waste your energy as well. Because this is something that you cannot control. Because you cannot control the emotions of other people. You cannot control the decisions of other people. We have spoken about this in the previous lessons. We posted them on YouTube last week under Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please refer to those. That there are things in life that you can control, and there are those things that you cannot control in life. As a young man, you need to know that. And as a young man, you need to master just that you know that this I can control and this I cannot control. And those that you can control, please control them fully. And those that you cannot control, those things that you cannot change, so please move on from them, because you cannot control and you cannot change them either. But this comes out of a strong mind, and a strong-minded individuals will always identify things that they can control and things that they cannot control. And they're not going to waste their time and energy about things that you cannot control. You must remain happy. Remember that happiness is infectious, and you'll be able to infect your environment with happiness. But make your happiness a decision as well, because you can decide whether to be happy. You can decide also to become miserable, but that comes from you and is because you are strong-minded when you decide to do so. I want to end up here today. This was part 3 of this great topic, and I hope you will join us as we deal with part 4 tomorrow. And I hope you will be part of it. And your host, Michael Spokane. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure also that you click that notification button and be part of our videos that we are posting going forward. And may the good Lord bless you. Allow me to say cheers for now.